I feel like I haven't been able to cry for years. I feel like I don't have the ability to for man long. But like I feel like one of the hardest people, like the toughest man, is a man who knows how to cry, a man who knows how to be vulnerable, a man who knows how to be emotional.
Nobody want to see us happy. Nobody want to see us successful. Nobody wants to see us thriving.
I want this project to be bigger than just UNC and the black men here at UNC. I want this project to kind of shed a light towards this topic and grab the attention of everyone, anyone that can watch it. Hi everyone, my name is Connor Barnes and I'm a sophomore here at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I felt like a college campus was a great place to conduct this type of research and make this type of project because there are 20,000 kids that are possibly going through the exact same things that I am. I just want to say first and foremost, the message of this project is not that only the mental health of black men matter. That is the opposite message that I'm trying to give off by making this. I chose this route because I know that I can relate to this specific demographic, not only in internal but also external ways, and relate to past experiences they have had and experiences that they're going through now just because of the way they look. The remainder of this video will consist of a bunch of interviews with black men that I conducted around campus, and I asked them 3 simple questions. I asked them to describe themselves in one word, to give a negative stereotype that is associated with black men in one word as well. And then the last question was either to compare those words and how they relate to each other, the way that they describe themselves and the way society may describe them, and why do you think black men are so afraid to come forward about their mental health. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoy. Please be recording. Please be recording. Thank God.
Hey everybody, I'm Isaiah Kirkpatrick.
My name is Chekna Jawada.
Max Jones.
My name is Kyron Taylor.
My name is Lamin Sadie.
Hi, my name is Jachi.
I'm Jaden Owens.
I'm Eugene Reynolds.
My name is Dwayne Haley.
Hi, my name is Nahom.
My name is Jakob Lema.
Hey y'all, my name is Nicholas Fantuzzi the third.
What is one word that you would use to describe yourself?
One word. Oh, okay.
One word.
Yeah, that's difficult. Myself.
I would use, to describe myself in one word, I'd say I'm
trying to find a singular one because that's a great question. Like I have a lot of stuff that describes myself, but if I were to use one, I would say relentless. I've been through a lot, I still go through a lot, but no matter what, like I still overcome it, I'm relentless with it.
I would say that I am considerate. I'm obviously I think that I'm a very caring and honest and passionate person towards other people and understanding of them.
Optimistic. I feel like I see a lot of good in different people and different things in life as well. Like anything that comes in my life, I always try to come at it with a positive attitude and try to just see the best in everyone and everything.
I stay curious. Yeah, I've always been curious and I like to stay curious.
Eccentric. I just like to put myself out there. I like to be personable. I like to talk. I like to make people feel good.
Persistent. I say whatever goal I have, whether it be socially or academically, I always try, even if I fail, until I get that. And I always get in the end.
Probably say curious right now. I'm trying to learn a lot. I'm trying to learn more about myself, trying to discover who I am. So probably curious describes in one word who I am.
interesting. There's a lot of people on campus, and I have to make myself unique to other people, so I want to make myself interesting.
Charismatic. I feel like I don't choose that for myself, but most of my friends are when I talk to people, they usually say that's the first thing that comes up. Either I'm funny or I'm charismatic or I'm just that guy.
I would say introverted.
Strong. I feel like I've been very strong recently. Just staying down and keeping my head straight with everything.
There's not really a word
There's not a word because I'm me. It's me. That's the word. Me.
What is one negative stereotype that society puts on black men?
I would say insensitive. Reason being, like it is kind of true just because of toxic masculinity these days. Like a lot of black men don't know how to be vulnerable. And I used to be one of them. Like I used to be a person who, when a person would ask me, hey, like, do you need help? I'll just be like, nah, I got it, I'm strong, or I got it like that. And that's a turnoff, to other people, especially like friends and people who love you, who want to help you, who want to provide that space.
I was thinking a lot of stereotypes like hypersexual, hyper-aggressive. And I feel like all of that stuff is more indirect, more implicit, but it kind of implies that like we're not sensitive to things, like whether it's our own feelings or feelings of society, other people, that sort of stuff.
I feel like one that I hear a lot is that black men are kind of absent in, like, I guess family dynamics, which has never really sat right with me, just because statistically that's not true, and I think a lot of times people try to thwart and skew statistics to kind of paint that narrative. Black men are actually some of the most involved in family life.
There's a lot to choose from. Just one, I'd probably say kind of closed off, that we don't really like to express our feelings.
Financial background and like stature, like just because of the accent, people tend to assume that I'm from like middle, upper class.
They expect black men to be strong. Like they expect black men to not have like mental issues. We live life through and through with no issues, no problems. Where we just like everyone else. We have our problems, we have our situations, and we need help just as like everyone else. And that help isn't really offered most of the time.
No, we're too aggressive. I feel like people have the impression that as a black person, they have this idea of us that's not true. From every corner, they usually have this picture of a black man being this dominant, aggressive type of person who doesn't really care for their feelings. And this also applies to black women in a different way. They just don't think that black people feel that sort of pain. They're just aggressive people with no emotions, no feelings.
We're forced to believe that we can't have feelings, or that you're supposed to have everything figured out by the time you get to the real world when everybody else is figuring it out too.
I don't know a really good word for it, but that we're tough. That's not really the word I want to use, but that we're rock solid, no heart, or we're intimidating.
I would say unprofessional, because they think that we all act a certain way, that we're super outrageous, super raucous, that we're not very well mannered, that we can't be well spoken.
I say the lack of vulnerability. We do have feelings. Everything that we encounter does affect us, and we just have different ways of showing it.
That they can't have feelings. We feel like we have to be in this position of power and holding things down and just taking everything on the chin and being cool about it.
Why do you think they have that mentality that they got to take everything on the chin and they can't really speak out or get help?
Honestly, in the black community, that mental health has has been made less important. That's really just the root of it, if you ask me.
Because everything starts when we're young, and how we develop it matters, and the way that the environment kind of just affects us when we're kids, when we're at that malleable state of mind, that really determines if we determine if it's okay to cry or if it's okay to feel feelings.
There's a lot of stuff that plays a role in that. I say history. I'm not an expert, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of narratives, I can say that. I've been narrative conscious during my time here at UNC, and I kind of see how stories and different political events, stuff like that, can play a role in how we're perceived by ourselves and other people.
I think because just the black family structure has just a long history of kind of keeping things in, always feeling like we have to be okay.
I'd say definitely both primary and secondary socialization. From a primary standpoint, in my home specifically, it's not really something that's talked about or accepted. From a secondary standpoint, I'd say a lot of people kind of frown upon it when black people speak about their mental health.
I think it kind of starts a lot of role models. That doesn't help, but a lot of times we see our favorite artists, actors, kind of separate themselves and feel like they're above people.
A decent amount. We come from single mother homes, mothers raising us, so we're kind of forced from a young age to adapt, and especially me being the oldest, kind of show up for my younger siblings and kind of show them the way and try not to show emotion.
I think it's a combination of factors, but in a lot of ways, the biggest thing I think it boils down to is this heightened sense of masculinity that exists within the black community for black men. This idea that we have to consistently be tough no matter what is thrown our way, that being emotional or showing any type of vulnerability to other men or other people in general is a sign of weakness, that it doesn't signal anything that is beneficial to us, is probably the biggest thing holding us back from understanding these problems and then addressing them properly.
That's just always kind of been our history, since we kind of got here. Like, yeah, we're going through all of this. Yes, we're, being relegated to secondhand citizenship. Yes, we're being thrown in jail at disproportionate rates. Yes, this, that, but we just have to keep trying to embody black excellence. There is a lot of toxic masculinity within the black community as well. I think that both of those things kind of coincide to make an environment where black men feel they are less than a man on two fronts, just because they naturally already just feel like they're less than a man compared to a white man, and then they feel like they're less than a man because now they're speaking on their emotions.
Any advice to anybody going through something right now, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, like quick words of advice to them?
A word of advice I would say is make sure that you find out what's best for you. So some people, they might say, hey, therapy is good for me. Some people might be like, no, maybe me surround myself with more positive people. Maybe me detaching myself from people would be good, addition by subtraction. Maybe I need to start getting myself involved or make myself a new hobby, maybe painting, maybe I'll set up times of the day where I'll just dedicate just for myself. From 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., I'm gonna just do schoolwork, study, make sure I get some food. And then from after 8 till to wake up in the morning, just dedicate that to me, me time, me days. You just have to just find out what's best for you so you can keep on advancing and enhancing yourself, if that's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in all facets.
Surrounding yourself with the right people, in terms of people that will be there to listen to you whenever you need them to be, that will allow you to be vulnerable without this expectation of you being consistently unaffected by any adverse situation that comes to you in your life, that will support you no matter what state or emotional place that you are in.
It's okay to have other outlets. I think the number one thing is just emphasizing that it's okay to have other outlets, whether it's journaling or just kind of just talking to your friends about your problems. Mm-hmm. Letting them know that to get rid of that toxic masculinity, and let them know that it's okay to take care of yourself. I think we can start changing the narrative by just being us, by being successful and by being happy, really. I mean, living our life like a human, like any other person would. Then we are in itself breaking the narrative.
So you said that you you went through therapy, and if you're comfortable with talking about that, can you talk about how that helped you and how black men in general could possibly reach out to therapists or look at therapy as an option?
Yeah, for myself, I use therapy as an outlet, as another way to positively release any burden on me, because I do go through a lot. Even to this day, but I don't feel like therapy is the end all say all, or however you say it. That being said, I felt like it was useful for me when I needed to talk, but I also, on my own accord and on my own time, found other ways where I didn't want to talk to no other person who can't relate with me, who doesn't look like me at times, or who does look like me but can't relate with me still. So maybe instead of me talking to a therapist and keeping myself isolated, maybe I will take a walk or surround myself with my friends, who genuinely love me, and I love them too, dearly. Just surround yourself around a lot of positive people who will push you to make sure that you're okay when you can.
In particular, black men don't have a place currently in society for talking about their mental health as much as they should. Basically, you have no room to be vulnerable, and that's exactly what this project is kind of built to tackle, because no one should have the feeling where they can't reach out to somebody and talk about something. No one should have the feeling where they are too man enough or too big, too bad, too whatever to express their emotions and feelings to somebody, because that could actually save somebody's life.